My background is not up. Give me 1 second. There you go. I'm like, okay, she'll fix it.
Okay.
Good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is. Just hi. Tonight, I'm by myself. Miss Untamed. The weather is not doing the best, so she had to take a little break. And she loved being here with Miss Mayhem Mo, but she couldn't do it tonight. But I'm here with Miss Mayhem Mo tonight, and tonight she's not gonna be Mayhem Mo because we're not discussing the book with the mayhem. She's gonna be something different.
Right.
But I want to go ahead and go through the particulars real quick. I gotta thank everybody for their donations and everything else before I get started, because I got some questions for Mo as we discuss her fourth book, fifth book, sixth book, six,
Seven. This was the fourth book. This was the fourth book.
the fourth book. Okay, so okay, because so it did. We'll get back into that later. So let me get this started. All right. So welcome to the first episode of 2024 of the Get Caught Up Author podcast. I am your host tonight, Miss Crystal, and like I said, Untamed is fighting this weather that's going on, like fighting it. You know what I'm saying? I hope she see that and think that's funny, because that's probably what she's doing. But anyway, before I get started, I want to thank our sponsors: UP, Kiana Dene, XO, JC, KB's Bookshelf, Tyler Landscaping, Jones Pressure Washer and Lawn Care, and me and my son's lawn care. Thank you for all of the donations that jiggle and fold. Thank you. All right, so let me read this bio, because y'all see who's sitting right here with me. I got it right. It's one of these ways. Y'all see who's sitting here with me, Miss Mo Flames. So let me just go ahead and read you her bio. Mo Flames writes fun, engaging, romantic fiction. I think you need to add messy to that too. She is the epitome of passion meets pen. Bubbling with charisma, Mo engages her audience in very unique ways, touching lives with her vivid storytelling. For her, writing is a gift. And having improved her style from a tender age, here we go with this tender age again. She is now pushing the boundaries of suspenseful contemporary romance with spicy precision. Ooh. As an author who flourishes in telling affectionate stories, Mo's every word pulls readers into a spiral of emotions, connecting them to a world full of surreal yet conceivable drama. Besides writing and reading lots of fantasy and suspense romance books, Mo enjoys traveling, playing games like The Sims. I need to play with you, because I started it, and I definitely want to finish doing it. Watching Criminal Minds. I watched that with my son. It's crazy. And listening to R&B songs. I do that with my daughter. See, that's why we get along so much. We intertwine. She is also an avid community volunteer and enjoys handcrafting in her spare time. Mo Flames currently resides in Atlanta, Georgia, with her supportive husband and her adorable daughter. Y'all, her daughter is adorable. Like that's my B-Day twin. She is definitely adorable. So I love to say this, Miss Mo Flames. Welcome to the UP Hot Seat. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me back. Happy New Year. I miss
Happy
you,
New Year.
Untamed. When you see this, I miss you, miss you, miss you. I was so ready to cut up with you, but I know man, yeah, Georgia was getting it. Georgia was getting it
Yeah.
last night. I mean, between the lightning, thundering, flooding everywhere. I'm surprised I have
Wow.
power right now, but I'm thankfully, we're able to have this time to chat. But I missed you, Untamed, and don't worry, we got a whole year ahead. I am pretty sure I'm gonna come back to get caught up. So don't worry, we'll have another chance.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
Like you know how when you go over people's house all the time and you be like, girl, you ain't company, go get your stuff. You ain't company no more.
I hope not.
You are not company no more. So, you company when you first come. If you'd have been here more than once, you ain't company no more. So you past being company. You probably can go ahead and host the show for us once.
Hey, I wouldn't mind being a guest host. Be like, hey, Untamed, hey, come in here.
There you go.
Yep.
You hear that, Untamed? She said she'll do it. She'll do it. You know, we always
Let
like
me know.
that'll probably be kind of cool. That'll probably be kind of cool. I like that. I like that.
Let me know.
Now, you know, we got this new segment on here, call it Get It Off Your Chest.
Yes.
And it can be a rant, a rave, something positive, whatever you feel you want to get off your chest, get it off your chest.
Let's see. Do I have something from last year? Man. Oh, all I know is the Ravens better come through and take us to the Super Bowl this year. That's all I know. That's all I know. My Baltimore
That's all
Ravens
she know.
come through. I mean, that's not really a rant. That's more of a wish because I was on Facebook today, and on my personal page, it said, I think I had it saved, and it was like, yeah, the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh my God, is this not a sign? So that's my rant. That's my thing. I'm gonna need them to do it. They gotta buy. They got some time. So in 2 weeks, you a Baltimore Ravens fan, we need all the good juju, all the good energy. We need that Steelers win, but we need a win now to get through the playoffs because we get to the championship. We get to the
championship. Yep, that's what we used to call it when I was in high school. When they went to the ship, they ain't even say the whole word. It's just time. We going to the ship. We going to the ship. That's all they used to say.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That is it.
I've learned this. We on the 7th, 8th day of the year.
Yeah, we there.
We
there.
So I'm gonna try to start with a little positive. And my rant is positive because I want my team to win. I'm gonna start with some royalty. So
I got you. So I told you the other day, and I told Untamed, and she kind of laughed at me because I don't know how to do this. So this is gonna be new. So for 2020, see, that's how I'm already starting off doing that. It's full of crap, but I'm gonna try this. Yeah, I'm going back because I know it's full of crap. But in 2024. I told myself, and I shared it with Untamed, and I also shared with Mo, that I'm going to make this my soft girl era. I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going to work on it.
You did.
I'm rough around the edges, you guys, and not saying that I'm not a girly girl, like at all. I'm not a girly girl at all. But like last year, I got into makeup. I also got into perfume. I actually just ordered some perfume and yesterday, and it's coming on the 11th. I'm so excited. It's a new scent I love. It's the Flower Bomb by Victor and Roloff.
Ooh, that's a different one. I can only smell that once.
Yeah, I like Flower Bomb. So yeah, my daughter has gotten me into perfume. So yeah, I'm starting to get into my soft girl era. But as a new author writing, I've learned that I ain't soft at all.
Not from our conversation, you're not. Not from our conversation, you're not, man. There's a place.
I'm not a softer. Yeah,
there's a place for you.
And it's not in romance, you guys. I can tell you that right there. I love to read it, but writing it, I'd be like, yeah, can't do it. But can't do it. So something I want to get off my chest in today in 2024 on this day is I posted in our Facebook group on Sunday that we're always making New Year's resolutions to make changes to ourselves. How about in 2024, we just be ourselves? Stop saying you're making a change. If you're making a change, that's fine, you're making a change. But saying you're making a change just to be a better you. And I know that's what you're doing, but just be yourself. And so it's more it's not a rant, it's not a rave. I do have some rant and raves, and I'm going to keep that for later because I see some stuff and I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it at all.
Oh.
And,
I lied. I do got a rant.
Oh, well then you know what? That's all I had to say. So soft girl air and be yourself. But go ahead and what you got to say?
Them damn pirates. I'm going to need y'all to stop stealing people's books.
Yes, let's talk about that.
To stop stealing these books. Stop going. If you are a reader and you're supporting authors, indie authors, okay, okay, traditional authors too, but first and foremost, us independent authors, indie authors.
Yes.
Stop stealing from us. Stop going to these pirated sites that you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, it's a pirate.
And then say you did it and
And to
had the
say you did it.
audacity
And
to say you did it.
to say you did it.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah.
stop right now. Stop right
Because
now.
that'll make me want to come up off
Go
my
buy the
soft
book
girl
now.
era real
You
quick.
said you did it. Go buy the book. I'm not talking about the ebook. Go buy the physical book. Go support that indie author if they have. And matter of fact, if you did it, go buy a couple of their books because that's not right. That is not.
It's not. You getting a whole book for free.
To know how many author friends of mine posted on Sunday that their books were posted on
Yes.
the site. That was sickening.
I saw that. Actually, I went in and searched some people, and I was shocked that people came up. But like you're saying, and I've seen people saying that people were like, "Oh, I read from that." Like, why would you even say that? I'm gonna just say this, and this is just me, and this is something I feel like as a blogger, I'm big on, even if I wasn't a blogger, being a reader. I'm big on knowing the business and knowing more than just, if I'm here reading and sharing your work, I need to know more of what it's doing for the authors besides just sharing your work and getting more people to read it. So I'm going to do my research.
Right.
But this is the thing I definitely want to say. I have so many authors who send me books, and I appreciate every last one of y'all. Like, you just do not understand how much I appreciate you. I'm going to tell you how much I appreciate you. You send me the book for free, and I still go buy an ebook.
Exactly.
That's how much I appreciate it. Because I go to authors' pages, and I like literally when I see that authors are putting stuff on their page first on their sites, I go there first before I even go to Amazon, because I'm here to support you guys, not just reading your books and giving reviews. It's also the support. It's probably sickening how much money I spend in books.
Yeah, and it's okay because I do too.
It's probably sickening. And then last year, going to them events, it's probably double sickening, probably triple sickening. Probably, because I know Miss House event, I left with a huge suitcase.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I had
a huge suitcase. So it's probably sickening. But I just want to say, if you're going to support and read, and if you're going to do something wrong, everybody don't need to know your business.
But if you
everybody don't need,
write the ship. That's why I said write the ship.
Write it. That is right. Write it.
Those authors by going and getting their books now. You go, you pay for the books. You go and get the ebook and or go and get the physical copies. Support what they're doing. It is hard earned work. It's blood.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Years. We're not doing it for free. We give it to you for free on certain days when we go ahead and do different promotions. That's the time you can get it, when we're saying, hey, this is a promotion that I'm throwing. This is your opportunity to get my book for free. Not when it's a pirated site saying, hey, here, download this for free. If you don't see any of these authors actually doing it and saying is there,
don't do it.
Promoting it, don't do it. That's how you know that it's not our sites, because none of us are on the site. That's how you know. So if you're watching this Get Caught Up podcast, or you're seeing this part, or you're hearing it, know that it is wrong. That is a rant, but it is a fact. You don't see authors' names anywhere on those sites saying that this is my book for free. You can have it. It is a pirated site. Don't do it. Just don't. That's how you can support us, by not supporting that site. Report it.
Thank you. Thank you, because they don't know how much the ISBN number costs. They don't know how much covers cost. They don't know how much it costs to get it copyrighted, to get it edited, to get it proofreaded. None of that. Right. And then you guys are coming out of your pocket with all that. And some authors don't even make that money back.
Hello.
And then when you're not making it back, and then for somebody to be using your stuff and putting it out there for free,
it's sickening. That part is sickening. Do you know how many authors wrote that they felt sick to their stomachs? That
I believe it. I saw it.
Whole catalogs out there. Do you know? Except 2 weren't on there. All my
books crazy.
Weren't on there. I sent them a cease and desist right away, and I'm checking. And then there's a website to help us get it down. I signed up with them, and hopefully I'll be able to find out there are other sites out there. But it's so unacceptable. So unacceptable.
They should be able to be sued, because you guys are copyright. Your stuff, your books are copyrighted.
Yeah,
that's stealing. Yeah, that's stealing. Like, that's just crazy. Okay, so you know what? Let's go. Yes, that was it. So just that, I love that part. Maybe I'll tell Untamed to post that part, to pull people in to see the whole art, the evening. But anyway, like I said, it's the new year. It's 2024, 2023. You was out in them streets. You were doing events. You were writing. I got a chance to be around you. Let me tell you something. If you guys are new to writing, Mo is definitely somebody to be in your corner, especially when you're doing characters. I stare at people, but being around Mo stare at people, and like she be like, you be staring, but then you want to know what? I finally found out why. So I went to an event with her, and like I said, we were at a coffee shop. Hello, Black Coffee ATL. Black Coffee ATL. If you live in ATL, definitely check them out. They are so bomb.
On Jonesboro Road, though. On
Jones. Yep, that one. Go to the one on Jonesboro Road. But Mo showed me what it is like to get character development. And I appreciate her that much because, like I said, now I stare at people and my child be like, you need to stop staring at people. Girl, you don't know why I'm staring at them. But, it gives you a sense of you can see their mannerisms, what they look like, how they're acting in certain situations. I mean, just like it was one girl that came in, y'all, she came in and she sat down. And it's so funny. By then, I started staring at people. So me and Mo staring at the same person. Y'all, she was gorgeous.
Yes.
The one with the blonde hair.
Yes, and I still follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, see? And that's so funny. So like
somewhere.
So that's how, if you're looking, definitely, Mo, I'm telling people to slide in your DM, but you need help with figuring out characters, talk to Mo. She got you.
It's called
she definitely got it.
Yeah, character muses, character inspos. Yeah, we found a book bay during Alexandria House's weekend.
Oh my God. And he was sitting over there minding his own business. But I peeped that dude out when he walked through the
You and I both, because we saw the
door. Because we were looking at the door.
We could see
and you want to know what's so funny? Because every time I go places, I always want to see the door. And everybody's like, why? Because you don't know what's going to walk in.
Hello? You know we right here together. You know we right here together.
You don't know what's going to walk in. But that man, good golly.
He will get a story. And when he get his story, I'm going to hit him up like, hey, sir, here's your story. Just want to let you know I wasn't playing. Here's your story.
The thing, you guys, he wasn't like, for him to have a table full of women just like kiki ha giggling, that man wasn't paying us no attention because we literally was sitting right next to him. He wasn't paying us no attention. And then like he took the time and sat and talked to us afterwards and everything. But good gosh, that man was gorgeous.
Yes. He was,
a tall drink of water.
Worthy. That was book.
He definitely was. He definitely was. But like I said, it's a new year. You dropping new books. Drop some books in the end of the year, and working on dropping some more. So, but let me just ask. We always ask, how are you? Like, you good? We know the storm is down there, but how are you? How is Mo Flames?
I'm on fire.
Well, that's where the flames come from.
Not my crotch.
Yep.
Like I am on fire as far as my creativity. These characters won't stop talking. Like you said, I released 2 books at the end of the year, and the 2 books in the year just sparked. It dropped some. What you would call it started. It was a catalyst for some more things to go on. Enough series. I left things undone, or not saying undone, but there were stories that still had to be told, which those stories will happen. People didn't want to hear about it, but Troy's redemption story is coming out first. So
I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. Yes,
exactly. But then there were 2 other things that, like I said, came out at the end of last year that, they those things needed to happen. So my brain is just like firing off, like, get this out. The characters are like talking and they're saying, hey, don't forget about me. And this story.
What about me?
Yeah. And so that mayhem, the minor series, I think will sometimes, I feel like, be the palate cleanser throughout this year.
I agree.
But it's a lot of mayhem going on in Atlanta right now. It's so much chaos.
Well, that's why you mayhem Mo, because you definitely You definitely be doing it. Now, you just said that because I don't want to kind of ask you the same questions we always ask because you've been back more than once. You know, you ain't company no more. So I got to
Right.
get a little bit more into your business.
Right, get
But
my business.
you basically said that they're always talking. When the characters are always talking like that, what do you do? Do you let them keep on talking? Do you say, oh, wait, let me jot that down and then put it to the side? Like, what is your, what do you do for that?
Exactly what you just said. I have to jot it down. I have right now 3 composition notebooks
Oh,
because yeah, I have 3 composition notebooks and I have an electronic I guess you say Bible. I
right.
use Scrivener and I have Milanote. So Milanote keeps my families together because now there are more families involved in this from Derek, Mary, and Desiree because we have the Carters. We now have the Morettis. We have the Winters. So,
Oh,
and there's a new family coming that introduces themselves into the mix. So I keep all that stuff together. And so whenever someone starts to talk louder, I'm like, okay, it's not your turn, but I have to write down what they say because it's literally something that's probably popping off in the book. They're like, but I need to say what I need to say because it's probably going to help this book. And because
right,
things are happening around the same time. Like I told you, remember when the Enough series happened, other things were also transpiring and ending
right.
or beginning. So I have to keep up with all the stuff that's going on. So I'm constantly writing down what happened afterwards. Once Desiree and Derek got married, after that, what happened? What's going on with Troy and Mia? Because that's still going. And now we have the band. The band is going on. So now that the band is moving things along, everybody's like, but wait, what about Peaches? What if Peaches got stuff going on? So yeah. So it's
I definitely understand that.
yeah.
I haven't published anything. I have finished one. I'm working on another, but then I've come up with I see covers and I'm like, ooh, a story pops in my head. Or like you said, that constant talking, and then sometimes I'm sitting there like, are they talking to me? Is this something I read? So if and then another thing I've learned, so let me just ask you this. If you okay, because like I said, my brain ain't the best sometimes, but if you hear them saying the same thing more than once, do you feel like that should be in the story?
If it helps the story, if it helps the
Okay,
story, or if it's part of the character's traits. Like it could
got
be the
you.
character telling me this is me, this is who I am. I may just write because if it's a repetitive thing, then that's the character's trait. That's something they need me to keep up with for them. And that has happened. There was something that's oh wait, that popped up more than once. Is this who you're going to be?
Right.
So I had to write that down. Is remember that like we have to write that down because when it's their turn, they're going to do this more than once. So this is going to come up again. So that's a good question because that has happened to me before, where a character just popped back up again, and I was like, oh, I got to write this
Mm-hmm.
down because this is probably more than likely going to show up, and they're going to do it again, and that's to
And
me that's
again,
part of the trait. That's just their trait, or that's just something. What I think as authors, and if you're in your bag and you know what you're doing now as you're writing, you learn that their character flaws, their character traits, their character ticks, their quirks, and you just learn to write that down. That's something you expect that character to do, or it could be just their thing that they may do to another character. That's kind of Mia. Mia,
yes.
I figured out Mia was one of those ones that I picked it up right away. I'm like, Mia, you're real funny. Like, girl, you really know how to be a snob and then kind of snooty and then treat people a certain way. But you're also loyal to a fault. So I had to write those things down for her, because she's
And
definitely,
that's true. That's
yeah,
definitely true. And that's good to know because like I said, the writing, I have I have stuff that just come up in my head now. If I hear it 2 times, I'm like, oh, write that down because they done said it more than once and you're not
yeah,
listening.
yeah,
So that's a good thing that you definitely want to do. Now, like I said, you've been in the author business for minutes.
yeah,
And you guys, when black folks and their minutes can be more than 1 minute.
yeah.
Minutes. Like a few can be more than 3 with us. So as an author who's been in it for a minute, like what have you learned now that you did not know when you first started?
Wow. Well, I'm gonna say this because before I was under a small press, I just have more. I
Mm-hmm.
have more of my flexibility to do what I want under my own company. Um,
Right.
I can pretty much release when I want to. Um, there's nothing holding me back. That I really have a lot of flexibility, but I have to also it's a lot of power with that, but I also have a lot of responsibility with that, being mindful
Right.
of what I'm putting out, that I want quality all the time. As I'm getting further into this, I realize there are things that, hey, I could have done a little bit better had I done it
Mm-hmm.
this way. So like you said, what did I learn? Okay, it's important to have a really good editor. And I'm thankful that I've had a great editing team so far. And just really marketing is huge,
I think those are the two biggest things for indie author is your editing and your marketing.
yeah.
Now, we do have some authors out here. I feel like they don't have to market. People, they post saying, I'm about to drop a book and people buying it. But, for ones who doesn't, they do have to do that marketing. So, yeah, that is definitely huge.
Yeah. I think you have to spend time and really getting to, and that's something I'm learning too. I have to engage more. I really have to get out here, and it's not necessarily face to face, just being present, consistent. I know I'm very consistent showing up in my group, cutting up in my group, but
Right.
but there's other places readers like us to be, and I'm trying to make sure I'm showing up in those places. But for right now, I really am focused on getting the work done. So I'm really focused on my books, getting the stories completed. So sometimes I disappear because that's most important to me. If I can, as long as I'm writing that book and getting those stories done, then that's where my head is at, more than trying to be
Right.
all the time. So, but I know you really do have to engage with the readers because they want to hear from us too. They want, what are you writing? What are you getting ready to give us? And not for nothing, I do try to share a lot in my newsletter. So if you're not in my newsletter, make sure you're signed up for my VIP insiders list. That was my shameless plug. So
No, shameless. That's what we're here for. Plug yourself away.
Yeah, make sure you sign up for that so you can stay in the know, because that's usually where I'm dropping all of my hints. So telling you guys what I'm working on, where I'm going to be, and you get sneak peeks, you get the back, behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on before anybody else anyway. So that's the best way to stay connected.
I love that. So, you said something. This question was in my head, and then you said something. So I was like, okay, she said it. I can kind of lead into it. So you said that you're in groups. How important to you is it to have a group of people helping you or being in your space as far as writing?
Community is the most important thing. I think if there was another part of giving a new writer advice, get in with the buddy.
Yes.
Don't feel you can do this by yourself. You can't. Writing is a lone task. No one can write your books for you. By all means,
Right.
it's time for you to write. You got to write alone. You can have someone accountability, do it together, sprints and stuff. We call it sprinting. But your stories are yours by yourself. You got to get that done. But a community, people that you can trust to be honest with you about what you're doing, share, and not be the crabs in the barrel, feeling like, oh, we can't share with you because we feel if we share with you, you're going to take from us. Really trying to place yourself around like-minded people that are going to
Yes.
help be, you're helping each other. You put a step here, I put a step here, you put a step here. You get what I'm saying? I think
Right.
that's the most important thing for anybody to be inside of a community. And I am in a few. I started one myself for a few authors to help them out that are new and shy and aren't comfortable in bigger groups. And then I'm in bigger groups. I'm in one that's well over 100. I think there might be up 100,000. Then if there's not 100,000,
Oh, wow.
there might be 50,000 of us. I know it's just a lot of us in there, and
Right.
you get sucked in, but you get a lot of information, so much information, but it's so many of us in there doing this, learning about being an indie author. There's no wrong way to get your book out. To be honest with you, there's really no wrong way. If your book is published, it's published.
It's
Once
published.
you get
That
an
is true.
ISBN number, it's published. I mean, it's out for the world. And I mean, when
That
I
is
say
true.
no wrong way, meaning there's ways to make it better. You know what I mean? It's just ways to make it better. But once you hit publish, it is for the world to see your work. And it's just, you can find a way to take care of your errors that are in it and fix that. But there's no wrong way. You just, whatever, where your passion lies and your story needs to be told, tell your story.
That is true. So what is the toughest lesson you learned being an author?
Well, that goes back to my old days, not reading them contracts. Not reading them contracts. I mean, I'm keeping it 100. not reading them
Right.
contracts. If you sign the contract, you need to have, hey, prepaid legal is out here. Have a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend to hook you up with someone to read a contract. I mean, that was probably the hardest lesson I had to learn, that don't sign on the line unless you understanding what you're writing, what you're signing off, if you're signing off your rights to something. And that's what I did. I signed my rights for a very long time. Took me a while to get them back. So,
because there's some sneaky people out here. Don't think just because they trying to bring you on. Some people are definitely sneaky. People are sneaky. I mean, I just look at it this way. Karma.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Karma, when people do stuff wrong, it come back on them.
Yeah, as I've learned these last couple of years, since now that I'm back and I'm out as an independent author, I don't speak about that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give it the energy. Talk about the person. There's no need to, because whatever is going to happen will happen, because
right,
that has happened. There's nothing I could do to change it. There's nothing I need to do, because whatever is meant to be, because I'll say vengeance is not mine. There's just, and I can't.
Right, that is true. That is true.
I can't get back those years. Karma's just going to do what karma's supposed to do.
So that's all it is. That is true. Okay, so I got one more question before we go to break, and then you come back and we talk about Love in A Minor. So my last question is one word. What is one word that you would say? I'm not even going to say one word. I'm going to give you 3 words. Ooh. What are 3 words that you will say to an aspiring author?
3 words. Don't give up.
That's good though. That's good, because some people be wanting to do it. Some people be wanting to do it.
Don't give up. I mean, I just don't think if this is where you want to be, and this is what it keeps calling you. I mean, I've always said the story when people have asked me, you said the tender age.
That tender age.
I'm so serious about that tender age, man. If you ever get to meet my cousin, she'll tell you I walked around with this yellow pad rewriting stories all the time.
Tender age.
That tender age. If it's in you, it's waking you up in the middle of the night. It's waking you up first thing in the morning. It's not letting you sleep. It is something that you're telling people, I gotta do. There's a story in me. I gotta get out. And it doesn't matter if it's a nonfiction story, if it's your story, if it's whatever story.
Mm-hmm.
Not let anything keep you from getting it out. Dr. Miles Monroe said that there are people. Guess what? There's a lot of things that are in that graveyard over there. There, books. There are all kinds of things in that graveyard because people died with it. I don't have the quote exactly right, but you know what I'm saying. People have died with all of their ideas because they were afraid. They thought nobody wanted to hear it. They didn't think it was good enough. Whatever it might have been, something stopped them from doing it. Maybe it was that they fell on their face. Maybe it was because someone took it from them. But don't give up. If it's for you, fight.
I like that.
But don't give up.
So Mo said, don't give up, you guys. Don't give up. Okay, so we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to read the synopsis to Love in A Minor. And then Mo is going to read us some of the book. And then we're going to get into some questions. Okay? So we'll be right back.
Didn't you put on mute?
No, you're fine. Because, she's going to put a commercial over top of this.
Okay. I love it that you have those glasses on and still got to do all that.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. All righty. And we are back. And I am here talking to no other than Miss Mo Flames. Now, here we are. This is the star of the hour. She's the star, but this is really the star of the hour. Okay. So her book right there on the screen, Love in A Minor. I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis, and then Mo will go ahead and read from the book. Jamin Love, the mastermind behind R&B group Love and Minor Keys, was devastated when he tragically lost his cousin, the group's lead vocalist. He struggled with accepting that someone else would take her place. Jamin knew no one could ever fill his beloved cousin's shoes. However, out of his control, the record label Black Beats Entertainment chose Shayla Starr as the new lead singer. Jamin bitterly resisted the change, preferring things to stay as they were. Yet, upon meeting Shayla, his world was turned upside down by her undeniable talent and spunk, which captured his attention. Reserved at first, Jamin was pulled in by her magnetic presence. Could this grumpy, and if you're ready, you know why I laughed at grumpy, but could this grumpy mastermind resist her alluring melody, or will he fall flat? All right, Mo, go ahead and give us some of Love in A Minor.
Welcome back to Baller Business. I'm your host, Lala, and I'm your lovely co-host, Cisco. Lala flashed a smile his way before turning her attention to the camera. If you're just tuning in, you've joined us just in time. Before the commercial break, we were just getting ready to serve up some piping hot tea. Today's special guest used to be signed under the Black Beats Entertainment label and sang with the popular band we all know and love. Baller Babes, please put your hands together and welcome to Baller Business, Brandy Green, former lead vocalist of Love in Minor Keys. While the audience applauded, Lala and Cisco stood from their armchairs to greet the brown-skinned woman in the form-fitting red pantsuit, crossing the studio stage. Lala proffered her hand first. After shaking Lala's hand, Brandy shook Cisco's. They waited for Brandy to be seated in the armchair on the opposite side of theirs before they sat down. Once sitting, Lala extended another greeting. Welcome, Brandy. She smiled and tipped her head in their direction. Thank you, Lala and Cisco, for having me. Lala responded cheerfully. You're welcome. And thank you for agreeing to come on the show. Well, let's get right to it. Tell us exactly what happened. Why aren't you with LMK anymore? 2 words. Jamin Love. Lala leaned forward and inquired in a coaxing tone. Please, tell us more. What about Jamin Love? The man's a total... Oh, Lala held up her hand. Hold on now. We try to keep it classy and clean around here at Baller Business. Okay. Simply put then, he's rude, condescending, and acts like a dictator. The man's attitude stinks like hot garbage. He was always grumpy. I'm talking rude, obnoxious, and overbearing for no reason just because. It made working with him impossible. Was he like this every day? Every single day? Lala urged. Brandy nodded. Yes, pretty much. And he didn't let up. Was it like this with everyone else in the band? Cisco interjected. Everybody else was cool. It was all him. He criticizes everything and goes overboard being a perfectionist. You can never do right by Jamin. He compared you to his cousin. I mean, I get it. Cammy was great. The girl could sing. We all know this. But how can you show him what you've got when he's already shooting you down, comparing your skills to hers? And forget about having a say on anything, because what he says goes. No one questions him. Overall, it was a toxic environment. I just couldn't take it anymore. Cisco tisk. With Brandy leaving, how many lead singers does this make that LMK has gone through? Can anybody keep up? Lala quickly forced more. Let's see. I think she's the 4th singer they've had in the last year since Cammy's untimely passing. And since Brandy's not the first to say he wasn't able to work with Jamin, it's obvious what's going on here. Cisco agreed with the head bob. Yes, Lala, it's pretty clear that Cammy's death is still affecting him. I believe in taking a break, which they did, but personally, I don't think Jamin's given it enough time. If anybody in that crew needed more time off, it was him. She was family to him. Grieving is a process, and time is needed to go through each stage until you've accepted, or rather learned to cope with the loss. However, I also know because of their contractual obligations with Black Beats, they had to get back out there. So I can't imagine how hard it is for Jamin to have to replace his cousin with a complete stranger. Neither, but he's wasting Black Beats money with this revolving door. Jamin can't keep this up and expect Derek to be okay with it. I doubt he is. Your friend is about making money. And at some point, he'll make an executive decision and Jamin will have to accept it. Cisco said, waving a dismissive hand. Brandy retorted. Doesn't mean Jamin will change that funky attitude, and that person will be able to have to deal with it. The problem is keeping the artist he works with. Cisco exchanged a wide-eyed glance in Lala's direction. He picked up his cup of tea and leaned back. His eyes ping-ponged from Brandy to Lala before taking a sip. Lala smirked. Good point. And let's not forget that LMK was at the top of the charts prior to Cammy's death. For a couple of years, they were hitting it big in every category. I believe they were on their way to winning a Grammy. No, I retract that. I know they would have taken home a few had this tragedy not happened. It's so unfortunate James is unable to work with others. Cisco sat up and returned to the table in between them. He popped his lip. I'm going to say this. They're going to need to bring in a powerhouse voice, and that person must be able to deal with Jamin Love for this band to get back to that level. Because if they don't, I'm not sure what the future will be for LMK. Lala shrugged, speaking candidly. If Jamin keeps this up, there might not be a future for LMK. One more thing. Fuck. Jamin bellowed. He had heard enough. Brandy had been a liability. She wasn't notably a talented singer to begin with. Of course, he was a perfectionist. He had to be. What would it look like to have a singer in place of his cousin? He wasn't going to let Brandy or any of those subpar singers ruin LMK's brand. Jamin didn't care what Lala or Cisco said. They didn't know what they were talking about. His band didn't need a lead singer to stay at the top of the charts. He hit the power button on the remote and threw it on the other side of the couch. Jamin, stop moving so much. His attention was snapped back into the room by an aggressive tug on his dick. Jamin lowered his gaze to the woman kneeling between his thighs. Jamin lowered his gaze between his thighs. She swiped away the saliva trailing from his dick to her mouth. She noticed he still had a firm grip on his swollen shaft. I'm gonna stop there because, of course, she'll probably want to stop at that last part. I realized I was reading all that other stuff, but
yeah, because it got a little nasty. A lot nasty.
For LMK, that last part probably stopped where it said, "If Jamin keeps it up, there might not be a future for LMK." That was a good one.
Yes, I definitely love the way you started out with them two messy hens. Both of them, Cisco and Lala, because they was messy in the One Ain't Enough series, and here they back again being messy.
Yes.
Now, let's get into these questions. But first, you have what is called what's going on?
Oh, I have a giveaway. I'm glad you asked. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you are on my VIP insiders list, you got an email on Sunday morning talking about this show tonight. So you should be listening into these questions. And when you see the post go up, which you'll see the post go up, and you should be commenting on that post, because guess what? You have an opportunity to win a Love and A minor gift box.
Ooh.
And in there, they already know what's in the gift box. They already know what's in the gift box. So I'm not even going to say it on here. They got it. And you guys who are listening, when you see it, because I'm going to post it and you hearing it, don't worry. You'll be joining these mailing lists and you'll be trying to get your box too.
Yes, you will.
But yeah, that's the giveaway. They have to listen into the questions. They just have to listen to the question, and the one we say, that's the giveaway. They just have to comment below.
All righty. So let's get into these questions. Okay, so my first question is, why did Durk sign a TikTok star instead of finding another singer?
Okay. If you were a reader of the Enough series, one of the first things we said about Derek is that he recognizes talent. He was known to pick people who he just knew they had talent. It's just something in him. I love music. One thing about me, my dad is a drummer. And I felt like there was something in Derek that I would throw my dad, part of him. Like my dad just had a knack for hearing great music. And so Derek heard her and said, no, that's who's going to be the lead singer because I know she's it. He picked other people, but once he heard Shayla, there was something about her. And the fact that she had that sound, he said, no, that girl's going to do it. And she's going to be it. It was just Jamin with the previous other people kicking them out and not being able to handle.
Yeah, so that goes into my second question. Was he not a fan of Shayla because of his cousin, or was it something else?
Definitely because of his cousin. One of the things, it's his loyalty to his cousin and feeling like no one can replace her. I think one of the things that I felt as I was writing his character and I kept fighting with him is like, okay, you know that you are not the lead singer. You are the band's leader and you play piano well. Yes, you have a great voice. All of you have great voices, but you're not the lead singer. And you're not a woman. And your voice is great, but you're still not this woman. Or even if it was a male and he could have been the lead singer, I think we knew there was going to be a woman leading the band or being the lead vocalist. You're not
Right.
it, Jamin. You can't be that. And seeing someone take her place solidified Cammy being gone. And he still hadn't dealt with Cammy being gone. He was still hadn't let it go, if you will. Not say let go,
Right.
but address, I miss my cousin. I miss her. And I know this band has to go on and we're going to go on, but I have to be okay with us going on without her. And that hadn't been addressed yet. And so that was the thing. He wasn't ready to do
But you did put that in the book because there was a point in the book that he spoke on that.
Yes.
So I did and I'm glad that you put that in there because it was like you was a piece of shit, like from the beginning. And then you turned that around, but like you still kind of had those feelings. And then I like the fact that you addressed it in the book.
And I don't want to say it was a piece of, and I fought this because I was like, I had never written a grumpy sunshine guy or either enemies to lovers, and this was new to me because it was friends to lovers. For everybody else, it's like, oh, if you like the person right away. So it was like he just was guarded. It was like I lost
very guarded.
I lost my best friend. And then we know with Kels, like we knew Kels also was a part of that there's this woman that he hadn't got, that he was over, but she also, contributed to his ideal. If it's a woman, she probably playing, or she's about something that she shouldn't be, she might play games with me but Shayla was totally different. Like she came in totally different from everybody else. And he knew
right
from door, and it was like, I should not be feeling this. I can't feel this. So he was fighting it tooth and nail.
He was
way to fight.
He was
jerk that he could be, because I think he already has his personality of being kind of like they said, you're already grumpy anyway. You don't get up early. You don't like to be up early. But I think it was even 10 times greater losing Cammy and then the girl doing him dirty. So he had a couple of things adding to that.
That is true. Now, you said this earlier that everybody in the band can sing and they was talented. And I love that we got to see the fact that he was talented. He wasn't just someone who can write, play a piano and sing backup. Like the man could sing. He wrote songs. Like he just was a talented musician.
Yeah.
Was there like ever a time he said in your head, let me go solo? I'm going solo.
No, because when he met his best friend, Jace, it was like, we gonna have a band. And then when they met their friends, it was like, now band. It was like, we gonna be, and it was just, they have this camaraderie that's just, I love it.
I love their friendship.
I love
the friendship.
And I think you saw that between our two friends that were at Black Coffee, and they talked about and then I think you saw that between the owners that own Black Coffee. So I told you I was
them men were
bomb. All of that for that
basis.
So that was kind of why I kept it that way. There was no,
and I love that because like you said, when most people get into a group, people get too big headed. Like you said, each one of them were talented. Each one of them could have went on their own and became solo artists and still did good, but that wasn't their goal. Their goal was to be together as a band. And I love to see that because we have read some books where people start out as a band and somebody leave and go solo, but I love that you kept them together as a band. Now let's talk about Miss Shayla. Yes. Okay, so there were kind of like once Shayla got comfortable with the group and started performing, it was one of their biggest performances, and she had stage fright.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Well, it wasn't exactly stage fright. It wasn't exactly Shayla had, and this is actually one of the questions. This is the giveaway.
Okay.
it was not stage fright. There was something that happened in New York about 4 years prior, and that was something where she was actually she had an opportunity to be a solo star. She would have never actually Love and Minor had she gotten this opportunity. Imagine if it was like what is the one of the shows? Think of one of the
America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent, America's Top Idol live, and you have to sing, and she chose Whitney, and we know Whitney when she hit that and
Yep.
And she went to hit that and had a break, and most singers are taught you keep going, and she knew
right.
But Shayla froze, and Shayla froze in such a way that she couldn't recover, and she took off. She took off. I'm talking about in the middle of a live audience, live on television, took off, ran in the back. Now, she did not have social media. Social media wasn't on her radar at the time, and that's why technically no one knew her when she came back as Shayla Starr. She was Shayla Childs at the time, this unknown, wanting to get on and get big, and that's what happened. And so it brought on anxiety. So when they were there to do it again in a bigger audience, she saw someone from her past that brought back that anxiety. So that's what that was the fear. I mean, it's almost like it was a trigger, and it was like, am I going to do this again? And it didn't even happen because she had her voice cracked. It was just, am I going to blow this? Like, I'm with a Grammy nominated, or these people have won iHeartRadio, MTV Awards, BET Awards. I'm still a nobody. I'm a backup singer. I'm getting ready to sing with them. I'm going to F this up. So she just went on a spiral, if you will. So it really wasn't stage fright. It was pre-stage fright. She hadn't even got on the stage yet.
She hadn't even got on the stage yet. But like you said, because it had to do with the little messy broad and the little messy man, you know. Yes. Oh my gosh. And I love the fact that she didn't run. She ran, but she didn't run far.
Right.
And I love that.
She was going to.
Yeah.
She was going to.
But she got stopped.
Yeah, she was thinking it. She was thinking it.
I loved it. So now we're at the part where Jamin and Shayla are together. They're so stinky in love. They're so cute. You know, they just was always doing things together. They went to practice together. They went home together. They just were together. And I loved it because, like I said, I do like enemies to lovers stories. And they definitely were enemies because, you know, they each had nicknames for each other. And it was hilarious. And they always kind of went back and forth until she got tired of it and stood up. And then, you know, it made him change his aspect. But do you think once they got together that it would ever at any point that it would cause a problem in the band?
No, and he actually told her that. He told her, my friends will support this. Like I think if the friends didn't like her, might have been a difference. Like if there was anything, if she was anything different than that ball of fire that she brought in the sunshine that he was missing, it would have been different. If Shayla was not cool with Jace, if she wasn't cool with Daria, if she didn't click with Daria, I think it would have been an issue. She clicked with Daria. She clicked with Jace.
I loved her and Daria and Lenny's relationship. Yeah.
If she didn't
click, I definitely loved it. Yeah.
I think it would have been different if she didn't click. I think it's hard when you bring someone new in, because it's a band. I mean, like you just said, bands don't stay together. I mean, I joke about it, but I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I felt like, hey, they're still together,
right.
It's several bands because when I was doing the research for this, and it was something that I did write in a book. We don't see bands anymore. Bands don't exist. We do collaborations. We see way more collaborations than anything else. One is cheaper for a lot of these labels to keep, you know, solo artists and just do collaborations. Are around, but they are very far and few in between. And those that are our bands, typically, this isn't what you see. And but I love bands, and I love live bands, and I felt like this was the ode to music for me. And I felt like this needed to be a strong knit, and they are a strong knit band. And so Shayla came in, and she she literally was Cammy times 10 too. I felt like she was Cammy reincarnated, if you will, because they even told like, man, and that he didn't want to hear that from his friends. Like, hey man, you got to give it to her. She's even better than Cammy. He said, what'd you say about my cousin?
She's even better. Yep. When they said that, I remember that.
So he's ready to fight his friends, over this because he loves his cousin. But it was like, you're ignoring the fact that this girl is good too, and she's bringing a energy to us that no one's going to deny, that no one's going to be able to ignore, that this girl is bringing to our band. And it's that part that just makes us that much better. And that is so true. Yeah, she couldn't be anything less than what she was, which was that. And the girl who's the inspo, whenever time I see her page on Instagram, she is a ball of fire. She's freaking hilarious.
She really is. And like, she can blow. She can sing.
You saw what she was doing, that la 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 la.
Yes.
Like, girl, you better sing, Shayla.
So yes, she can definitely sing. Now, we talked about Jamin. We talked about Shayla. We cannot have this interview and talk about this book without talking about Lenny and Jace. So Lenny is Shayla's cousin, but she also worked at Black Beats, and Jace is in the band, and he's also Jamin's best friend.
Yes.
And Lenny and Jace be Lenny and Jason. They be Lenny and Jason.
They be Lenny and Jason.
They be Lenny and Jason. So what's up with them?
What's not up with those two? I mean,
that is true. What is not? That's part of the question I should have asked. What's not up with them? Yes.
They're in denial is what they are. They are so they're both in denial until the end. And only one.
That's what I was about to say, till the end.
And only one of them are in denial. And that's what we will find out in their book soon. Their book is coming soon, Love in B Minor. Because Jace was community peen. Like, he shouldn't be thinking about relationships. He's been blessing every city, he got codes. He
looter. He got holes in different area codes. I got you.
And listen, Lenny be getting flued out. Out. So
she do. She do.
They both have been enjoying the single life, not thinking about getting tied down to anything, but they have enjoyed what they've found with each other. And technically, if you call it, they're in a relationship, not a situationship. They're in
a relationship. They was in a situationship.
They were in a situationship.
And then
and neither one of them quite knew that. I would say neither one of them addressed that when it switched over to a relationship, because it's moved there, and neither, like, she done cut off all the peen and he done cut off all the JJs, and and even you would have to have read the bonus scene to know this, but it's like he knows it. Jace knows it. And even though his best friend is saying, hey man, stop, don't you rock this boat and get your feelings hurt. If she don't do it, y'all good. You said everything was good, and you don't want to change it. Why are you trying to change something now? So,
and that leads to my next question, because I felt like at the beginning of the book, I felt Lenny feelings like she was already in love with Jace. Like, that's how I felt. And I felt like I wasn't too sure Jace's feelings until we got towards the end. But how does he really feel about her?
Man, Jace is gone. Jace is the one that has the feelings. Lenny is good. Lenny's story is going to be a shocker. Lenny's story is going to be a shocker. I mean, you kind of, if you read the bonus scene, you kind of see what she does to him, and it gives you the bird's eye view into how she behaves. And if you don't read bonus scenes, that's fine. It's a snippet, but it's basically leaving him and not giving him the opportunity to see that, is this going to go anywhere? And she has a history. Like everybody, you have a history in your history.
Everybody does, right?
Plus love. Love is for, like she told her sister, love is for you and Jamin and everybody who write these love songs. Write your love song, boo. I'm not here for the love. That's what she told her. That for, when she gave her that Ben and Jerry's, and they had that, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to go get this peen, this community peen you talking about." And she said, "How you could do it?" She said, "I don't see how you could do this and sit here and get your heart hurt. I done told you this is not for me."
It's not, and love ain't for everybody. Like you said, especially if you've been in it and it's done, it has put you through the ringer. After a while, you're like, forget love. I'ma just do me and do what I want to do. Now, you said the bonus scene. For people who haven't read the bonus scene, where can they find the bonus scene?
They can find the bonus scene when they read the book and click at the end. They get there and they click that little button. Now, if you get the paperback, it's a little, you can type it in. It's short. That's why I use Bitly. It's a little short link. Easy to type in.
Right.
I ain't giving it away. Look, I don't normally put, I feel like this. It gives people that little bit to wait for. I'm not making nobody wait for long. These stories are going to pop out this year. I already have them on schedule. I'm not keeping nobody long because they're standalones. These are not leaving anybody. None of these are cliffhangers. I don't plan on doing any cliffhangers. I mean, I ain't gonna front though. I did do a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the year, but I did kind of do that. But these aren't cliffhangers. I did. It wasn't kind of. Okay.
You did. Mm-hmm.
You thought it was a cliffhanger? It was a cliffhanger. It didn't feel like a cliffhanger to me.
To me,
no, that story ended.
It did. That story did end. Okay, so the story we're talking about, you guys, is Reckless Desire. It did end, but then she gave you some more stuff at the end. I had to stop reading it because I'm like, nah, you're not gonna have me sitting here waiting for a month of Sundays to get the rest of it. So I had to stop. But it was good what I read. But yes, Reckless Desires, it did not end on a cliffhanger. And you can kind of say it did because we already know hard-headed niggas don't listen. Scorned men
they don't
always want to get back on you. So you know something else is going to probably pop off. Something else is probably going to pop off.
And then there's the Holiday Bliss book it's an anthology. I have Christmas with the Carters. We get to see what's Derek and Desiree. Derek, who's over the band here, Black Beast and Love in A minor. It's not a cliffhanger, but I introduce something and introduce new and it leaves you like, wait, what? So y'all know I'm Mayhem, so that's what happened. Mayhem mode.
That's that mayhem coming. But can I say this now? I've read three different books from you. I've read more than three. I've read everything that you've written. I do have to finish. I do got to get to Holiday Bliss, and I have to finish MJ and Tanya's story. But what I can say is, to me, you're a multi-dimensional author, because with the One Enough series, that was the messiest stuff I've ever read in my life. Like, it was like you were just like, oh, let me just go ahead and cause chaos and let it be chaotic, and let me just be messy to the biggest power out there in the world, and all this stuff is happening in Atlanta. So of course, people probably thinking like, is this true? So now we got to go up the north side and see if it's a Jamal up there. And then we get Reckless Desire. So
y'all see Love and Hip Hop. That's what goes on here.
That is true. That is true. And then we get Reckless Desire. We get to tap into the BDSM world. But you shocked me with that story with the chess. Like, that is something that, I'm always learning something new. And that's something that I want to learn how to play is chess. Like, if I see anybody playing chess, I'm like sitting there, like just trying to figure it out, and I can't, but that is something I want to learn. I had a male friend that he was going to teach me, and then he never did. So that's something I want to learn. So I loved how you kind of connected the chess and the BDSM together. And then we have the Love in A minor. So we got to see the Mayhem mode. I've seen the Mayhem mode, and then I've seen the misogynic, you was a little, with the handcuffs, the X bed, all that stuff. BDSM so we got to see the sexual mode, and then here we get to see the I'm so in love, because I'm gonna tell y'all, Jamie and Shayla were sickening. If I was in that book, I'd be like, all right, y'all, that's like enough.
Yeah, the way
I would not be in my soft girl era with them, so I'm like, all right.
He couldn't get enough of her lips. Her lips.
He really could, yes, and he said that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, three different, I got to see you differently, and I loved it. And I was telling Untamed that I said, each book gave a different feel to me. It was like a different side of you, and I loved to see that from you.
And I felt like, because here's the thing, shouldn't the characters feel different? And I mean,
that is true.
And I felt like, and the fact that I had wrote I needed to clean my own palette.
Right.
And the reason why is because I had just wrote the first draft of Troy's redemption, and that had some trauma.
Right.
And I needed a minute. I needed a minute to clear my whole brain from some of the things I went to researching for him. And I felt like, okay, I need something. And they were already in my head anyway. That story came to me before I had even finished, the Enough series. I was writing sprints when I wrote Love in A Minor. I had sprints where I was doing sprints with some of the pieces of Love in A Minor. Jamin came to me. His name wasn't Jamin. Remember, I had named him Jamin after I met the owner of Love in A Minor.
Sure did.
Black Coffee I met. So I really feel like, for me, Love in A Minor just became, or the Love in Minor series became part of what I need each time I write some of these chaotic stories, because these chaotic stories are going to keep happening. I had another book blogger say, hey, you've become the romance, suspense, chaos queen. Like she said, that's just what you're going to be. And I said, I feel like it because I don't think I can write any more of these stories because now these are all interconnected. Everybody, I named the families.
Yeah.
There's a war. There's a battle going on in Atlanta. There's actually families. There's rival families now because of what happened. So I cannot write this character without knowing somebody has plotted something against them.
Right.
Write this character without bringing the chaos because of something happened. But when I write the Love in Minor series, it's kind of like, okay, a Love in Minor book, here's your palette cleanser. You get that palette cleanser because more than likely we're going to have some songs, we're going to sing, it's going to be a concert, and then you get another book. You come back.
That is true.
So that's kind of how I felt this year kind of going, because of all the things that's happening and the way the pecking order of all things go, and just the way the characters
I like I said, I love it just getting to see. I mean, I get to talk to you personally. Me and Mo don't know how to call each other and say, oh, we need like 10 minutes. Our 10 minutes be 2 hours.
Yes, because 2 hours and me telling her the different characters I'm thinking about and giving her what I think I might do. And so I sat and plotted and thought about the rival, and it was in Reckless Desire. What was said in Reckless Desire, which made what comes.
It's about to get crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel like it's some underlying issues coming in, and just from that story right there. Now I have one more question about the book, and because I can't leave out the other two bandmates. Yeah. Now that's Daria and Zane, and I wanted to know, like, I just feel like there's something going on with them. This is just me. I don't know if any other readers feel this way, but I feel like they have like this secret relationship.
Oh, I bet you wish they did, or you thought, but you are so way off base.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm shocked that I'm way off base with that. But I like, because they quiet, they say things, but they don't say too much. But I was like,
confused the readers, because Lenny and Jace were louder because, again, that's Shayla's cousin.
And his best friend. Even though Zane is one of his good friends too.
Yeah, of course. They're all best friends, but of course, best friend is Jace first, and then comes Daria, because they're all together. They're friends all the way up from junior high. But no, it's gonna be quite the treat for everyone. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag until Lenny's story. When it is Lenny's story, you will see what happens. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you guys now that's listening. I don't know if you peeped in Love in A Minor who Zane was related to, but I'm not gonna tell you. Go read.
I ain't gonna tell you either. But I wonder if you peeped it, because it was like a real little subtle thing. But you have got to. So to get the answer, you have got to have read the One Enough series.
The Enough series, or the Enough series.
The Enough series. Yep, because you had to read it so you can definitely figure out who he's related to.
And the thing is, when I do this, it's literally, I don't give the person the highlight. It's just I drop it in there. And then that way, if you hear it again or you see it again and you say, but I didn't know. Yes, you did. I wrote it in.
Because it was in there. It was in there.
That's just like at the end of One Is Enough, and what you found out in Reckless Desire. And I got the text message telling me, I said, I never said. I never said.
I said, she thinks she real slick. Y'all, What Paris Big P said, she out here playing the people face. She was playing people face in Reckless Desire. Played all. Cause I'm like,
You know what?
Joey, who the fuck is Joey? Joey. I said, okay. So
Everybody
you got to read.
nicknames. Everybody got nicknames. Everybody got
Mhm.
call them. What they
You
call
got to read Reckless Desire to find out what we talking about, but it's gonna mess you up. I was like, okay, she out here. I said, oh, she thinks she's slick. Cause and the funny thing about it,
you had to read the Enough series. So I'm telling you, let me just put it out here. If you gonna follow Mo Flames and you gonna read anything by Mo Flames, the only series that you have to start with and understand anything in my world would be the Enough series, because everything
will be the Enough series. Yep.
But after the Enough series, the books are standalone, but they tie into the Enough series. So anything you find out, you're like, but wait, where did that come from? You're gonna end up having to
go back to the Enough, because I literally went back to look to see if he said his whole name in that book, and I was like, did he say the whole? I don't even think he did. So when he said it, I said, this damn Mo.
The last name, the brother said it though. When the brother said
it, the brother said it, and that's when it clicked. Because I'm like, he has to. Because I was like, I remember him saying he only had 2 brothers, and then when in Reckless Desire he was like, it's 3 of us. I was so, when I say I was confused, Like, you did so good with that. It was crazy. So my last question is, what's your favorite or a memorable part of Love and A Minor?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. My favorite part was the engagement. Him asking her, do you know I was driving? What's up, Freddie Guacamole? Guacamole Freddie. Yes, I was going to an event that he invited me to.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, okay, if you don't know me, one of my quirks when I'm writing is once I start a playlist for every book, because I have a playlist for every book, I listen to the playlist until the book is completed, meaning that playlist rotates. That means as I'm playing the playlist, I'm seeing the scenes I've written over and over again. As I'm writing them, while I'm writing them, I'm playing the scenes over and over again. And I hadn't finished the book. It was the last scene of the book. And actually it was the epilogue. And I was talking to beta friends. I was like, oh, you have to do it. I mean, they're so in love, it's going to have to be an engagement. You have to ask her to marry. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, definitely. Because I probably would have been like, hello.
Right. So I'm on my way, and all of a sudden Prince comes on the door, and I'm like, oh.
I love that song.
There it is. And if you read the book, he shares the same date as Roger Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. And there it is. I mean, the rest is, and so they had to do a cover for that song. So that was just in my head the whole time, and that's what it was.
When I say I love that part, I would have loved to hear like a cover of that from them. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that was, to me, that is my favorite part of the book, when they did the cover to that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that
when
part.
He came, he even said, you didn't want to talk to me, girl.
Right. I love that.
Like, yes,
I loved it.
I was like, this is great. So yeah, that if any part of the book stuck with me, it was like, yeah, when he asked her, man, she just standing there like, and she was like, yeah, I didn't even ask you, wait a minute. So,
she already knew it was gonna happen. She knew what them lips did.
What?
She knew.
Look, listen, there was so many things to play on her lips, and what she said when Jimmy popped up, when she named Jimmy, and then that was my favorite part. But the other part was at the end, because Mariah Carey's her favorite singer.
Yes,
and she was at the door, and he started doing the song from Rush Hour, and Lenny heard it. Not Lenny, but Jason.
That was the funniest thing ever to try to get her to open the door.
Right. And Jace hears it. Jace said, hold up, that's from the movie. And he was like, who is Jimmy? He said, shut the fuck up. Will you help me sing? Because he's like,
sing, just help me sing. Yes.
Like, dang. So it was just funny seeing, just in my head, I just kept seeing just Jace every time saying something off the wall to him. So it was fun. I needed a palate cleanser, and this crew gave that to me. They were funny.
They definitely did. They definitely did. I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. And I just feel like if you guys have not read Love in A Minor, like pick it up. You will fall in love. Um, and I mean, I know this book is about Jamin and Shayla. I love them, but Lenny and Jace, like they took over. They were my favorite. Like I loved them. I love the fact that we got to see Dirk and Desi.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like it was just so many things in this book, and like I said, it just was a different feel for me, for you, from you. And I did put that in my review that it was just a different feel, and I enjoyed it so much. Yeah. So the time has come for us to end because we can sit here and talk about books all day long, but I want you to take the chance to, give the audience anything that's going on with you, give them your social medias, where they can find you, all of that information.
Yes. So, like she said, I'm social medias first. I'm everywhere. MoFlames_author on Instagram, TikTok, Clock app, however you want to call it, on Facebook, MoFlames. I have a group. I cut up in my group. You want?
She do.
It's called Mo.
Because that cookie cutter that you sent, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what they did wrong.
They hooked us
Something went terribly wrong. Like I said, something went terribly wrong.
It was a treat. It was a treat, though.
It was.
It was a treat.
Yes.
Join us in Mo's Corner. We have a good time. People have chosen. They got to choose Dominique in Reckless Desire. They chose her name. I allow, bring you guys in to help me choose these characters. I share that with my group usually first. Get on the VIP Insiders list. That is my mailing list. I share with you all the things that's going on in my world behind the scenes, where I'm going to be. You get sneak peeks behind the scenes or sneak peeks on the books that are coming out, covers, or anything that I'm writing. You get it first. And again, you get to talk to me. You get to tell me, hey, I don't like your book, Mo. Don't do this. Or hey, Mo, write this. I don't mind. I want you. You're in my community. Come join me. Right. So you can do that. Follow me. I have a link tree on my Instagram bio, on my bio. So click that. All those links are there. You can follow me. My first event, I'll tell you about it. It is here in Atlanta. It's the romance readers, romance authors, writers event. It's called RAWR, RAWR. That's the first event.
I know what you're talking about.
February 24th. That's my first event of the year. Come see me if you're in the area. One more thing I want to tell you guys before I forget. Oh, like I said, Reckless Desire just came out. Holiday Bliss just came out. Right now, when you hear this, Love in A Minor is on sale for 99 cents. Go get it. If you have not
99 cents.
Story, get into it. It's all the feels. It's the enemies to lovers, but it's all the feels. Get into it. And that's it. I'm here. I'm here for you guys. Email me. Hang out with me. And that's it. Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you, Untamed. I love coming to Caught Up podcast to chit chat with my crew. And I mean that. If you ever need a guest host, holla at your girl.
I'm gonna tell her. She gonna hear it too because she about her life be life, and I don't have a life. If I'm not reading, I'm sitting in my chair looking at TV, thinking of some stuff crazy to write in a book. That's what I'm doing. Yes. Because I have some things I definitely need to jot down when we're done. Definitely jot down. But I want to say you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at Books and Soul 1 on Instagram, and on Facebook, my Facebook page is Books and Soul. All right. And this January, our January reads, we will be our next interview will be Miss Tiara Cox. Kind of excited about that. She's been on the show before. And you guys, if you listen to Writer Wednesday, I never know exactly when people are coming. It's bad. And I should have had my tablet ready so I can tell you exactly. But just go on to the Get Caught Up podcast IG page or my page, and you'll see the calendar for the month. We will also have Miss Untamed, where we would discuss the View 1 and 2, because we're finally getting the View 3 up out of her. And I'm so glad we are, because The view 1 took me through it. View 2, I'm like, what you're not going to do is do all that. And you saw what she said about view 3. Okay. So if you would like to have a commercial, you can check, slide into, actually, we have our own email address now, the Get Caught Up Podcast at gmail.com. You can do that, or you can also go into our website, which is the Get Caught Up Podcast at carrd.co. Yay. And then you can check us out on Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else you listen to podcasts. Look at that. We out here in these streets. I'm excited. Definitely excited. But Mo, I just want to say thank you for gracing your presence with us again. And I'm glad we got to talk about loving A minor, because you know me, I'm a type of person, if I have questions, I'm going to slide in your DM, but I got your number, so I'll be calling you.
Please do.
I'm like, nah, because you be getting me sometimes. I'll be like, wait a minute. Be having to call her. So to find out what's really going on. But like I said, just check us out the rest of the month. And again, I thank you so much for coming. This was great. We got a lot. We talked about a lot. Definitely talked about a lot. And this was enjoyable. Untamed, we definitely did miss you, as we always do when you're not here. But we understand the weather was weathering. It is raining real bad up here. I went to a funeral today and had to be out in the rain. And that was a bummer. Yeah, it definitely was. But I was excited because I got to see my family. I haven't seen them in a while since I've, moved from this area, and then moving back, I got to see them. So that was pretty good. But I want to say thank you guys for always listening, for joining us, for supporting us. And if you don't do anything else, get caught up.
Yes.
Good night.
Awesome.